primary role of air tankers in British Columbia is initial attack. Over the history of the development of the BC Forest Service Wildfire Management Branch, we realized that ground crews and ground resources can't contain all the fires. So a great deal of work has gone into developing our air tanker program to where it is now. And about 85% of our total missions are initial attack, so it's a big part of our business, supporting those folks on the ground. What's really important for people to understand is airplanes don't put out fires, they're put out on the ground, and our job is to support them. Generally our fires on average are less than a hectare and a half on arrival. When we get in lightning storms, you'll see us working spot fires, and we don't put a ring around those. What we do there is called a blanketing action, because the fire is not big enough to circle with retardant, so we just put a direct coverage from multiple directions on it to get enough retardant on it to hold it till the crew gets there. Retardants were developed because they work wet or dry. So when they're wet, they act like the water in terms of cooling the fire and suppressing it. But once they dry out, their capabilities remain. It's a chemical reaction with the fire that releases the gas early from the fuel and coats it with carbon and water. Just like a campfire, if you have a piece of black wood, you have to split it to light it in the morning. And by putting retardant on it, we get that fuel coated with the char. And it takes a very intense fire to burn through it, or spot over it, or burn under it. So one of the tricks from an air attack perspective is to make sure you put enough retardant on it to draw a really good line in the fuel so that it can't burn under it or through it. And then you really only have to worry about the spotting side. Well, that's a bird dog plane, or an air attack platform. And in that aircraft is really the command and control and communications aircraft over any given fire. In that aircraft is an experienced pilot and an experienced air attack officer, and their job is to blend their skills to coordinate the fire operation. There's a lot of communicating goes on in that airplane. They have to make sure that the fire center, the air tanker center, and the ground crews are aware of what's going on from the air. They are also talking to all the helicopters on the fire and the air tankers over the fire and inbound to the fire to make sure they're all aware of their missions. Their primary role is to go down low level once they've developed a strategy and determine the safety for the runs so that the fully loaded air tanker can do them safely, and then communicate that strategy to the craft, determine the proper coverage level of retardant to drop, and then assess the drop once it's done. So they're really a key piece of the operation of the air attack platform. They're really the coordinator of the entire aerial assault on the fire when the air tankers are there.